Now, this is a video clip that I played in our last video that I'm pretty sure that most of you guys probably didn't catch it. And but I want to do a rewind, and we're going to look at, it's a very short clip, I promise you. And I want you to pay attention to what they're saying. This is a guy who works for the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, and he's talking about something he does when he encounters young people that come his way that want reassignment surgery. I want you to listen to how he handles that.
Most disturbing, Deshaun explained how he would classify young people seeking transition surgery as runaway youths. That's right, quote, runaway youths, so that their disapproving parents could be kept in the dark.
But if a kid doesn't want their parents to know or something like that, like you're not allowed to out them to their parent who might disapprove or whatever.
Well, if they're a runaway youth, we have special circumstances for that. We do not actually tell anyone. I don't even think in that circumstance we let our sister agency, DCFS, Division of Child Care and Family Services, I don't even think we alert them at that point. It was like a runaway youth. We have special circumstances. Oh. We don't alert a parent if they were on a previous case. We just need their word that they are not at home. So if someone, let's say, is a runaway youth, and they're staying at a friend's house or something, and the family plan brings them in, they apply for benefits, we can approve the benefits for the child by themselves, and we can pull them off their parents' case.
Deshaun told our reporter that if a parent asked to see their own child's medical records, he would deny them.
The parent comes in and says, "Oh, hey, where's so-and-so?" I don't know. I can't even tell you that your child is receiving benefits because you're not on that case.
Is that like something you guys decided to do because you want to help people out, or is that something that's always been in place?
Well, it's kind of always been in place. Yeah. That's something personally that I would not do, whether it was on the books or not. I'm not giving that information. It's just, it is what it is. The parents don't need to know that you're transitioning. You can just go to the doctor. Because at a certain age, they want the child themselves to fill out for their own medical paperwork. I'm trying to think. I don't think we have a law like that at all. If a trans teen came in and spoke to a doctor, I don't believe the doctor would have to disclose that information to the parent. Also, obviously, HIPAA falls into there as well. So the parent was there. I don't even think they would be able to request medical records.
You probably have kids that come in and tell you that they want assistance, but their parents are not okay with it, or they don't want their parents to know, or stuff like that.
I think I did have something like that happen.
I'm sure kids are scared.
Correct. And then, obviously, they should be, unfortunately. I have referred people to the center a couple times, actually. But at that point, I would just treat them as a runaway youth.
Even if they're not?
Yeah.
Wow. So that provision about runaway youths, you would just apply to a kid who wants to transition, but their parents don't want them to?
Yeah.
Just help them out?
Yeah. I would have to, but they're like, well, I need medical for this, and my parents start saying no.
Now, this is freaking outrageous, isn't it? Here you got this guy that's basically saying, I want you to really take time and really process this for a moment before we move on. What he's saying is, now imagine you as a parent, you have a child that ran away, right? You got some ideas of where they are or whatever, and you find out, okay, found my child. Let me go ahead and make a call. We'll go down there and make a pickup, and then we'll just try to pick up the pieces or whatever. But here you got this individual here who's standing in the way and saying, you can't really do anything because they're classified, or I classified them as runaways. So because I classify them as runaways, you have no power here. And so if they want to pursue getting gender reassignment surgery, they can do that without your consent. Do you understand what I'm saying? You understand what this means? And later on in this video, I'm going to show you some examples of what that actually sounds and what it actually looks like. Okay. That's very interesting that, you know, the same people who had this huge outcry. You remember a few years ago where there were a significant number of cases that were out that were saying that black women, young black women were missing, and, you know, people were, you know, saying that, oh my God, you know, black women, they're being snatched off the streets left and right, and we got to protect our black women. And I remember this is a huge thing. Do you also remember that it came out that these women were not being snatched off the streets? In fact, most cases, a vast majority of them, they were not being snatched off the streets at all. You know what was happening? They were running away from home. Now, that's a big difference there, because it leads to the next question, or it should. Why are you running away from home in the first place? Home should be the safest place on earth for our children. But yet we had this epidemic, what appeared to be an epidemic, of children, of particularly young black women, that were choosing to flee their homes. And that's a much more difficult thing to tackle. And that's why you had a lot of people, once that came out, begin to slowly back away from that conversation. All of a sudden, now it's not an epidemic anymore. Remember that? I remember that. I remember reporting on this and talking about this and playing the press conference where they revealed all of this stuff. And people got mighty quiet about it. But the truth is that, yes, you do have still today many of our children, not just black women, young black women, but also just black men, young black men, white men, white, whatever. It's across the rainbow of children who are fleeing their homes. And here you have an example of someone who is like a predator, using the system to throw this blanket that, oh, they are runaways. So now we can do our work in reassigning things in you. And as a parent, you have no power. You have no authority here. And another thing worth pointing out is that there are many black women who have used their positions of power to basically to take a stand for this LGBTQ agenda that's out here. And I'll just play you a few examples.
According to them, the trans kids that want to play the sports, Lord have mercy, that is the biggest issue that we had. Since when? Since when? Find the little trans child that is ruining your life. Like, I mean, I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
People are saying that Trump did a bad job 100 days in. I strongly disagree. This man has done everything he has set out to do.
Right.
I'm black. I'm terrified. I'm scared for my trans friends. And people who we know and love, our neighbors, are disappeared.
I wanted to talk, Marlon, a bit about, just so proud of how you are being a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's, that warms my heart, particularly as a black man. Would you care to share that journey of?
Well, I learned.
Now, why is it that we're not hearing anything from these individuals on this particular issue here? Why are we not hearing anything? You also have the black church.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh, man.
And they lanolated.
Man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, jergens.
Oh, you see that?
They glowing in the dark.
That from this last election that rallied up thousands upon thousands upon thousands of black women.
That we can live on and say, I thank you that I'm a woman, but I'm wise. I'm gay, but I'm godly.
And also LGBTQ as well, for Kamala Harris, who was very clear. The same woman that says she's not going to do anything specifically for black people. This is the same woman who was all out for LGBTQ.
We are all in this together, and your vote is your power. So please make sure your voice is heard this November and register to vote at vote.gov.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Now on with the show.
And remember,
You better vote.
And her same campaign that railed against straight black men for their raising their voice and saying, hey, listen, we got some issues with you. But when it came to LGBTQ, oh, well, we're just going to let that go. Stuff like this, what I just talked about. You're going to let this go? I'm going to show you some images, and you're going to hear some of these people who've actually been through this process. Because see, it's one thing to just say it. Like we just did this video about Simone Biles. Like she just posted that or whatever. But if you go back some tweets a couple of years ago, she's acknowledging that the whole thing is BS. And finally, we'll just get to it. Let me show you a couple of videos of individuals who went through this transition, if you will, by taking the testosterone. You know what that is. That's just what males, we have a lot of that, right? And I want you to take a listen to these beautiful women, and they took this testosterone and the change in their voice. Listen.
And this is my voice one day on T. Hi, my name is Micah, and this is my voice 1 month on T. Hi, my name is Micah, and this is my voice 2 months on T. Hi, my name is Micah, and this is my voice 3 months on T. Hi, my name is Micah, and this is my voice 4 months on T. Hi, my name is Micah, and this is my voice 5 months on testosterone.
Hi, my name is Del Monte, and this is my voice 1 day on T.
Yo, my name is Del Monte, and this is my voice 1 week on T.
Hi, my name is Monte, and this is my voice a month and like 3 days on testosterone. Hi, my name is Monte, and this is my voice 2 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Del Monte, and I am now 3 months and 4 days on testosterone.
Now I want you to look at this last individual here. In addition to getting the testosterone shot, they also had their breast cut off. I want you to take a look at this one.
Today is 56 days of hormone replacement therapy, and this is my voice. 60 days. And this is my chest. 56 days. Can you tell the difference?
So here you have a movement that is okay with, number one, taking the voices of our women, literally taking away the voices of our women, taking away these the breasts that they have been blessed with, leaving them with scars. Okay, leaving them with scars. A lot of times these scars are there for life. Okay, they don't get away, you don't get rid of them easily. They go inside these women. Now we're talking women now, but they do this reassignment surgery for men too. The different parts in your body, they literally uproot, take all that out, replace it with all kinds of plastic and man-made devices, sew you back up, have you looking like Frankenstein, and you are supposed to sit up here and to think that it's normal, you're born this way. And here you have, going back to the first video clip that I just played for you, an individual who's willing to use the power of the government to take your children and to throw a blanket of recategorizing them as runaways, where you as a parent, you don't have any say-so in putting a stop to all of this. I hope this made you really think. Again, when it comes to individuals who want to identify as, a different gender or whatever, personally, I don't care. I don't lose any sleep over it. In fact, I think most people don't. Most people don't go to bed just full of anger and what I'm going to do, to that man that I saw in a dress or that woman I saw wearing overalls. Most decent people, fair-minded people, they don't go to bed with those thoughts. However, when it comes to our children, that is when you are raising up a lot of emotions in people, and rightfully so. Because as adults, as parents, that's really our first job, is to provide ample protection for our children. And here we have a movement that is basically bending the rules to take away your rights as parents so that you can protect your children. Well, we're not going to stand for that. And we're going to continue to use our voice here on this platform to make it known and to inform people like you of what's going on. And yeah, this needs to stop. Thanks for tuning in. You guys take care. I'll see you again soon.